Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, we're back with the Fulani Republic of Nigeria again, the Fulani Republic of Buhari and Nigeria, and the Southern Protectorates, because of course Igbo land and Yoruba land are protectorates of the greater Fulani Empire, at least according to Mallam Buhari. And this particular narrative that I'm about to bring you sets further to the scene of that. So breaking: President Buhari's daughter Hanan making efforts to evade being personally served court processes over SIM card case. So that's this headline: President Buhari's daughter Hanan making efforts to evade being personally served court process over SIM card case. So now let's now find out exactly what the Malami first daughter is up to this time around. President Muhammadu Buhari's daughter Hanan is making frantic efforts to evade being personally served court processes, Sahara reporter has learned. Hanan is a defendant in suit number FHC/ASB/CS/3/2020 at the Federal High Court, Asaba, in which the Department of State Services and mobile telecommunication company MTN are co-defendants. The defendants are being sued by a young businessman, Anthony Okole, who was illegally arrested and detained for 10 weeks. And by the way, let's pause there for a moment. This is 10 weeks that we're talking about. How many months are in 10 weeks? 2 months and a bit this guy was detained by the DSS. So now exactly why we find out. So we pick it up from the top again. The defendants are being sued by a young businessman, Anthony Okole, who was illegally arrested and detained for 10 weeks at the DSS facilities for lawfully, and hold on to that word, lawfully purchasing an MTN SIM card, which was recycled and sold after being abandoned for 2 years by Hanan. Hanan, of course, being Buhari's daughter. So let's just pause there for a moment, because we really do need to reflect on this. So what is the situation that we're contending with in this particular storyline? So you have this character, what's his name again? Let's just go back to the top. Anthony Okole, a young Nigerian who is hustling for his life and trying to make something of his life. So he goes to one of the leading telecommunications company in Nigeria to purchase a SIM card. Now, I have purchased a SIM card within the Nigerian space, and it's quite a grueling process to purchase a SIM card, as it is to register a bank account, by the way, in Nigeria. But it is quite a grueling process to purchase a SIM card within the Nigerian space. They will ask you for verification, they will take your photographs, they will probe and prod you and check you thoroughly. So now this guy now went through that thorough vetting process, and this is what happened. So we pick it from the top again. The defendants are being sued by a young businessman, Anthony Okole, who was illegally arrested and detained at the DSS facilities for lawfully purchasing an MTN SIM card, which was recycled and sold after being abandoned for 2 years by Hanan Buhari. The story has recently generated public backlash, with a more recent development of Aso Villa officials barring court bailiffs from personally serving Hanan court processes. So we again pause there. So law and order is now what this next stanza is speaking to now. So now this is a lawsuit that's been initiated by an aggrieved person, this Anthony Okole, and the law requires, as it does in Nigeria and every other civilized country, that if an aggrieved person is taking a legal position, the person that is taking that legal position against is then served with court notices. So now this is now what they're attempting to do. But then, of course, let's just take that from the top again. The story has since generated public backlash after a more recent development of Aso Rock officials barring court bailiffs from personally serving Hanan court processes. So now, we've often said within the public space, on this channel and on several other outlets, that the rule of law has completely been abandoned within the Nigerian space, and we're now being overridden by and supervised by some sort of like Janjaweed processes that we have no real concept of, because of course we are not Janjaweed. The Yoruba man is not Janjaweed, because of course Janjaweed is a Hausa Fulani thing. The Igbo man is not Janjaweed, because of course the Hausa Fulani is the Janjaweed thing. But of course the Nigerian space is about the Nigerian constitution, but that of course has now been abandoned, as yet again you are saying from this example. So the court now sends out an operative to go and serve a simple notice to some person who just happens to be the daughter of Mallam Buhari, that you need to appear in court because a matter has been presented against you. And what does the Nigerian state do? They weigh against the court process to say that you cannot serve this person. So now let's just carry on and see where this lands, because this is just me now halfway point trying to just get to grips with what I am reading. So now let's now see what next is being said. Where is the point that we last stopped? So let's pick it up from here. The presidency, through the spokesperson to President Buhari, Garba Shehu, contacted Okole's lawyer. So let's pause there. Actually, let me read this paragraph in full and then we'll pause. The presidency, through the spokesperson to President Buhari, Garba Shehu, contacted Okole's lawyer, Mr. Tokpe Akinyode, on January the 31st over the matter, stating that he would direct Hanan's lawyer to his reach. So now let's pause there for a moment. So this is a private legal suit between a private citizen of Nigeria, Mr. Okole, and another private citizen of Nigeria, Hanan Buhari. So this is not a suit between Okole and the Nigerian state. No. Now, this is not a suit between Okole and the Nigerian president. No. This is a suit between Okole, a private citizen within the Nigerian space, and Hanan Buhari, a private citizen within the Nigerian state. So now, why now the presidential spokesperson, Garba Shehu, is acting then on behalf of one of the parties of a private suit is something that some of you need to explain to me in the comment section, because I have no concept of this. Because of course Garba Shehu is acting for the Nigerian state, not for Mallam Buhari, certainly not, and especially not for Mallam Buhari's daughter, certainly not. So now, why his involvement is in this case is something that some of you need to explain to me in the comment section, because I have no grasp of this. But let's carry on. Let's pick it up from this point. Shortly afterwards, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami SAN, also reached out to Akinyode over the matter, and Akinyode, of course, is the lawyer to this Okole person that is aggrieved. So also reached out to Akinyode over the matter, making a case for service of court processes on Hanan Buhari through her lawyer, Mr. M.E. Sharif. So now it gets even worse. So now we've already contended with the spokesperson for the Nigerian presidency, by the way. So the Garba Shehu role, Garba Shehu as a person is a spokesperson for the Nigerian presidency. And by the way, do not conflate the Nigerian presidency with Mallam Buhari, because Mallam Buhari is an individual who just happens to be the Nigerian president. The Nigerian presidency is an office that is recognized within the Nigerian constitution, and the occupant is just like a nominal figure that has been installed there by popular will under normal traditions but of course by Mahmoud Yakubu under this instance. So Garba Shehu is not actually acting for Mallam Buhari, is acting for the office of the Nigerian president. And the office of the Nigerian president is a singularity. It doesn't encompass all of the president's wives and children. So it encompasses only and solely that office. It doesn't even, the occupant, it only encompasses him in his capacity as acting on behalf of Nigeria and nothing else. Not him as an individual, of course, but in his capacity as the Nigerian president. And that definitely does not cascade to his family and his clan or whatever, but of course within the Nigerian space is completely different. So we had Garba Shehu saying this, but then now what is even more egregious now is this. Now let me read you this paragraph again. Shortly afterwards, Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami SAN also reached out to Akinyode, who is the lawyer of Okode, over the matter, making a case for service of court processes on Hanan through her lawyer, Mr. M.E. Sharif. So why is the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice of Nigeria, of the 200 million plus population Nigeria, acting on behalf of this little girl? So what is this? Is it taking personal briefs outside of his official commission is really the first question, because this of course is a personal brief. It's a personal matter between this individual, the Department of State Services, and this also private citizen Hanan Buhari. So why are we hearing the voice of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami in this matter? This of course speaks to what we have been experiencing. This is the same guy that told us that abusing the president is treasonable felony, by the way, because of course what Mallam Buhari has done is to surround himself with his own tribesmen to then use the weight of the Nigerian state to protect him in situ, in situation, so that he can then actualize an agenda that has been instructed him by the Arabs. This is really my own personal thinking, and this is why I'm so weighed heavily against this Fulani character called Mallam Buhari. But let's just carry on and round this off so I don't go off on a tangent. Since then, Sharif has made constant appeals to Akinyode for him to receive the originating processes on behalf of the president's daughter. Speaking on the issue on Monday, Akinyode said, "We have rejected," and of course this is a Yoruba man, because a Yoruba man is a man of education and a man of stickler to the rule. So we pick it up from the top again. Speaking on Monday on the issue, Akinyode said, "We have rejected the arrangement and insisted on personal service because the law, note that, because the law is that service of originating process must be personal. It is an essential process of law, and deviating from such is fatal to any case. Our client has a good case, and we cannot afford to lose out on grounds of technicalities." So now this is, now you see these people, they have no grasp or concept of the law. This is why they've put Tanko in the Chief Justice position and Abubakar Malami in the Minister of Justice and Attorney General position, and of course whatever it is as the IG, another Malami, another Hausa Fulani man, because they have no grasp of the law, and they are of the view that they do not have the intellectual sagacity to contend with an intellectual debate. So what they then have in place is some sort of like crude, cock-handed, brutal, false kind of system in place. So Malami will force it through as his Attorney General position, because this is a man that is now acting for the president's daughter, even though he's an Attorney General for 200 million people, but he's acting for an individual who just happens to be the president's daughter. And Tanko Abdullahi, of course, Tanko Mohammed, or whatever its name is, the Chief Justice, he of course is only a Chief Justice for Mallam Buhari and nobody else, and the Inspector General of Police, another Malami, is just a Buhari agent as well. So you see how they have surrounded it with guns because they do not have the intellectual rigor to contend with. Conversations in the comment section. Come tell me what your thoughts are. But before you come share thoughts, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me what you're making of all this in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Carry on with it in the comment section. But here I say peace.